Hatred is like a weed. It grows underground, and when it comes to surface, it's so strong that it's hard to eradicate it. We lived in a very non-Jewish area, and we used to mix with all the kids in the street, playing hopscotch and things like that. And suddenly, they wouldn't play with us anymore. And it must have been very hurtful, because I recently found something I'd written when I first came to England, saying the sun doesn't shine so brightly any longer. What did I do? Yesterday I was still at school. Today they told my parents there was no room for me any longer. So it must have affected my thinking to be shut out like that. We had Polish passports. Even though I was born in Berlin, I still had the nationality of my parents. Knock on the door in the middle of the night, 2 SS men telling my father to get dressed and take his passport. Well, my sister, who was 3 years younger, started to scream, "Don't take my daddy." And they said to my mother, "If you don't shut her up, we'll take her as well." After my father was taken away, a German family wanted our flat. We had to go and move in with my aunt. We found out that the Cuban embassy was selling visas, and we had to phone my 12-year-old sister to pack for the rest of our lives, which must have been a great responsibility too. But the whole family came to see us off, because we knew we'd never see each other again. And I must say, it stayed with me all my life. When I go to an airport or the station to see anybody up, tears well up inside me. I never forget that moment about knowing we'll never see any of our family again. And 33 members of the nearest and dearest did not survive. Well, the ship was a luxury liner, so we made the best of it. We had a swimming pool, we had a cinema. Most of the teenagers mixed all the time, and we played games together. There was even dancing on the boat, It was really quite a nice sort of cruise to begin with. But I always remember my mother sitting in a corner, never taking part on anything. And at the time, I didn't quite understand. But I must say the captain was very understanding. And on a Friday night, he allowed us to take Hitler's portrait off the wall for us to have a service. So it just shows some people felt very ashamed and did try. When we reached Cuba about 6 o'clock in the morning, I think, we were surprised that we didn't go right into the harbor, that we stayed outside. But we saw these wonderful palm trees and sunshine, and it was really a beautiful sight. And then suddenly we were told that there were problems with the visa, and the police came on board and explained that what they could in Spanish. And I think that's where I learned the first Spanish word, mañana, tomorrow, but unfortunately tomorrow never came. So the captain finally had to turn towards Germany, which was a horrible sort of thought, and the whole atmosphere, of course, changed completely. People were walking the corridors, knocking on people's rooms just to make sure that there were no other suicides. Holland, Belgium, France, and England decided to take a quarter each of the passengers. My father, he sent a telegraph to say, "Choose England." When we arrived in England and Southampton, there were flags everywhere, and we thought, surely they haven't come to greet us. Well, we found out later the King and Queen had just returned from Canada, and it was for them. We were so happy to be safe. How do I stay positive? Well, if you smile, the whole world smiles with you. If you cry, nobody wants to know you, isn't it? That's what they say.